It was time. This strange, eccentric group needed to come together. But first, Red had to get home. Magic Joe? She wasn't worried about him. Her mind was on Thomas and Anna. Something was wrong. She could feel it twisting deep in her gut. It was an urgency that had no explanation, a primal instinct clawing at her from the inside out. "Joe, I gotta go. It's getting late," Red said, shifting from foot to foot. Joe, meanwhile, was darting around the room like a lunatic, grabbing random objects, a golf club, a ceramic bowl covered in strange symbols, little trinkets pulled from hidden stash spots. He shoved them all into a ragged old rucksack, moving with an urgency of his own. On his way out, he snatched a tall, gnarled walking stick from behind the door, mumbling to himself the entire time. Red didn't care what he was up to. If he wanted to tag along, fine. But she was leaving. Now. "Joe, buckle up. We gotta move." Joe barely clicked his seatbelt before Red threw the car into drive and floored it down the swamp road, tires kicking up dirt and gravel. Her pulse pounded in her ears, an invisible force pulling her home like a magnet. Next to her, Joe rocked back and forth, whispering something under his breath, oblivious to how hard she was gripping the wheel. Then, "Stop!" Joe's scream tore through the cab like a gunshot. Red's heart seized. Her foot slammed the brake pedal, tires screeching as the car fishtailed, barely coming to a stop before smashing into a massive fallen tree blocking the road. The headlights cast eerie shadows over the hulking mass of wood. The trunk, thick as a truck, had crashed down with no warning, stretching from one side of the road to the other. Her chest rose and fell in heavy gasps as she turned to Joe, suddenly seeing him in a different light. "All right, smart guy," she said, swallowing back her adrenaline. "How the hell do we get out of here?" Joe didn't hesitate. "Backtrack. There's a trail road about a mile back. It'll take us to the main road. Padupo said it's dry. You should have no problem." "Padupo?" Joe nodded. Oh yes. He's fast for a dead man. He's scout ahead." Dead man. Red blinked, her mind racing. But there was no time to process. She threw the car in reverse, spun it around, and gunned it. "All right, whatever. You talk to dead people?" "Only friends," Joe said, eyes darting to the dark woods outside. "Joe's only friends." Red smirked. "Well, let's hope they can tell us how to beat traffic." Joe grinned. "Can't beat traffic in this car. But I tell you where the cops are." Red's grip tightened. "Bet." She floored it. The little car roared down the back roads, engine whining as it fought against her relentless push. Trees blurred past. The wheels hit every bump, every pothole, sending violent jolts up her spine. But she didn't let up. She couldn't. Somewhere in the back of her mind, a voice whispered, "Faster! Faster! Something is wrong." The speed trap came up fast. Joe sat up suddenly. "Slow down now. Cop hiding." Red's eyes darted to the side, catching a dark shape tucked behind a thick patch of brush. A patrol car. Shit. She lifted her foot off the gas just enough, coasting past at a deceptively legal speed. For a breathless second, she watched in the mirror, heart hammering, waiting for headlights to flare to life. The patrol car didn't move. The second they were out of sight, pedal to the floor. The car howled in protest, engine rattling like it was about to shake itself apart. Joe cackled. "Mr. Charlie says your car don't sound happy. Bad spirits." Red gritted her teeth. "If it gets us home, I'll have it exercised. Now where the hell are those cops?" Joe closed his eyes, head bobbing. 2 more up ahead. Slow, slow, slow. She did. 2 cruisers sat parked on the shoulder near an intersection. Lights off, waiting. Red eased by, pulse racing, keeping her foot light. Then, clear. She stomped the gas again, the miles flying past in a blur. Joe's voice was in her head now. "Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong." Then, home, or what was left of it. Red's breath caught in her throat. The front walls of the house were gone. Not collapsed, punched in. A gaping hole ripped through the side big enough to drive a damn semi-truck through. Joe's face went pale. No, not good. Where'd they go? Red saw it now. Everything. Smashed, shredded, destroyed, and then something snapped inside her. Fear evaporated. A cold, burning rage took its place. She turned to Joe, voice deadly calm. "Tell me where they are, right now." Joe swallowed hard. "West, moving fast." "Then get your ass in the car. There's nothing left for me here." She turned the key. The engine roared back to life. "West," she repeated, and they were gone.